Right. All right, guys. So, hey, this is Chip Townsend back with Chip Live. I have our special guest today, Miss Medina. So, Madi is one of our kickboxing students, but also her two sons, Isaiah and Alex, are black belts in our Team Chip martial arts programs. So, how are you today, Madi?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm awesome. So I'm gonna dive right in here and ask you a little bit about you, because I want this to be about you. So, what kind of career do you have? Business do you have? What do you do?
I just recently graduated from school not too long ago as a respiratory therapist.
That's a double bonus, because we have a non-traditional student who just went back to school and
Yes.
finished something fresh,
Yes.
right? That's awesome, right?
Yes.
I was non-traditional. It took me 17 years to finish my bachelor's degree, but they said it's because I got kicked in the head too many times. I'm just kidding. All right, go ahead.
But yes, that's what I've been doing. I've recently been taking a break to study, to go take my boards and do that, and just kind of reconnect with life again and my family, because it does take a lot to go back to school with kids and juggling all that comes with it. So just been enjoying that for now until I go back to work.
So your husband is a mechanic, is that correct?
Yes, he's a field service tech.
Field service tech
Yes.
for Caterpillar, which is one of the largest big equipment manufacturers in the world. And
Yes.
so he's connected to a big company and stays on the road quite a bit, because the oil field is big, in Texas, and so he's out there working on oil field equipment fairly regularly, right?
Yes, he's normally home on the weekends, sometimes all weekends, sometimes only for 2 days or maybe 1 day. So he travels a lot.
Yeah, that can be tough. And the reason I brought that up is because you're balancing that, with your two sons, with going back to school and running a home and doing all those things,
and clinicals.
Yeah, and clinicals.
And working at the hospital.
Oh, and working. And doing laundry and dishes and home life and all the things that go on. Yeah, it's like, whenever I was a kid, my mom was actually a stay-at-home mom. And so I was pretty blessed, and my dad worked, mom stayed at home. And, I remember her many times talking about, man, it's a full-time job just being a mom and being at home and taking care of the home and stuff like that. So that's really cool. So you went back to school, and you're now fully respiratory therapist, right?
Yes, sir.
And so when I have a cough, you can let me know what's wrong with me.
Yes, I can.
All right, awesome. All right, it's good to have you here then. So what inspired you to go back to school, make a career change, whatever? What inspired you to do that?
A lot of it had to do with the fact I had stepped away from school to be mom and be the wife. And once my youngest, Isaiah, had went back, I was like, it's time to find myself again. It's time to get back and do what I love, what inspires me, besides, being a mom and a wife. And I wanted to show my kids that, hey, it's okay to take a break sometimes, but even after that, you can still go back. You can still do what you wanted to do. Don't ever let go of those dreams and ambitions that you set for yourself. So I wanted to show them you can still do it.
Right. Well, you said something really kind of cool that I want to dig into a little bit. You said, go back and do something that inspires you and that you're passionate about. So I'm going to make the assumption that respiratory therapy, or maybe the medical field, what about that grabs you? What do you love about it?
Helping people.
Helping people?
Helping people. I think it takes a special type of person to be able to give that compassion to people who are sick.
Right.
Sometimes you have patients that are angry and family members that are angry because they don't understand what's going on, or because they want to help that loved one and they can't.
Right.
And sometimes you're the only friendly face that they see because they've been there for a month or a week. And if I can go in there and give them some peace, even if it's for 5 minutes, then I want to do that.
Awesome. So it's that servant heart, right?
Yes.
That's a powerful thing. It's interesting because they say that one of the best treatments in the world for depression is service.
Yes.
To go serve, to give back, because service gives us true joy, right? Well, that's powerful. So what are some challenges you face? You've already alluded to it, I think, maybe dealing with angry patients or angry family members that don't understand, but what are some challenges?
A lot of it, stress, anxiety.
You get anxious?
Oh, yes.
Oh, what?
Oh, yes.
Money gets anxious?
Yes, I hide it well.
Nice.
I was really bad about thinking I'm Wonder Woman and I can do everything and not asking for help.
Right.
And myself then to the point where I would lash out, you know, in anger, and being here has helped with that a lot.
Oh, good.
So yes.
We'll come back to that in a minute. So, you know, this is really interesting because I don't want to veer off too far, but you said something that was important. Letting things build up, stress. You know, we can all actually say we're stressed. Life is full of stress, but we take stress to different levels. And, you know, I was raised to be like super independent. And learning how to transition from, and I'm kind of leaning into Stephen Covey. I don't know if you're familiar with the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, but he talks about human development and how we go from being dependent, which is, you know, we're a baby, mom feeds us and dad changes our diaper, you know, and all those things. And then we move into this independence where I can stand on my own 2 feet and kind of get by, right? But then there's another level that we need to learn to transition to, and I think that may be where you're kind of hitting at right there. It's that transition between independence and interdependence, where you can have other people kind of in your life and on your team that you fully trust to the point that you can, I don't want to say delegate, that sounds kind of business, but they can take on some of the responsibility of life with you, like where a husband might come into the picture and pick up some of the slack at times around the house or whatever, right? So that's really powerful, but that can be stressful, right? Because we want to be independent so badly, and sometimes I think fail to realize there's another stage we can move to, and we do that, and it is stressful. We feel like we just kind of carry the whole world at times, and the reality is we don't have to do that, right? Very cool. So what is it that you've already kind of said you love the service, but is there anything in your industry and that you love? What stands out to you?
I think a lot of it is when you've actually made an impact on someone's life,
right,
and they see your face and they just feel some sense of joy and happiness. I walked into a patient's room and he was like, "There's my angel."
Nice.
And it just, to see that smile on his face and to hear that, it felt good. It felt good to be appreciated and to know that I did that for him.
Right.
I gave him that peace even though he's been there for a week.
Right.
I gave him some joy that day.
Nice.
That's makes it all worth it.
Makes it all
right
worthwhile.
there, yes.
That's powerful. That's, it's interesting. So you're a respiratory therapist. The word inspire comes from to breathe life into. Yeah, respiratory therapy, right? And so when you walk in the room, it was funny because I all these dots are connecting. You said earlier, passion and what inspires you. And whenever something inspires you and you dig into that passion, you become an inspiration. And that's really powerful. So now when you walk in the room, you're like that breath of fresh air that comes in, right? Almost so. Literally and figuratively, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. So I'm going to transition a little bit. I know that you're busy. We've already kind of talked about that. You have Alex and Isaiah and your husband and all the things going on in life, career. So you choose to come and do our kickboxing program, which is our FIT program, and you have the boys in our traditional martial arts program. So why, as a busy professional, would you add that to your plate, to your life?
Because I need it. It's my time. It's my time to decompress from all the stress that I may be experiencing. I may have had a bad day at work or just a bad day in general, and as soon as I walk in that door, I know there's somebody there to greet me with a smile or a hug, and then I just punch it out, kick it out, leave it on the mat,
Leave it on the mat.
And
nice.
There's been times afterwards where I've had a nice little sit down with Glenanne, and just she can see it in my face, and I just pour it out, and she's like, "Do you feel better?" And I'm like, "Yes, I feel great." It's something about just coming on here and just letting it out and just leaving it on the mat.
Every day we face burdens and we don't have to carry them all.
We don't.
Yeah, there's ways to get them out in a healthy way. Well, here's the cool thing. Physical fitness is an important piece of our life, but it's really powerful what you said, kind of punch it out, leave it on the mat. It's a healthy way not to let that build up inside and like explode at home or explode on the job, right? So that's awesome, man.
There's been times where I've been sick and I've missed. My husband's like, "When are you coming back?"
Right.
He knows I need it.
You got to get back to the mat, right?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So how long have you been in the kickboxing program?
I originally started off in the fitness camp, and I did that for about a year, and then I had a little break, and then I came back to the kickboxing program. I've been doing it for about a year and a half, I believe now.
Right.
So
I get the sensation a year and a half-ish back into the kickboxing program that you're enjoying it.
yes.
Any benefits other than stress relief that you're getting from it?
Oh yes. It helped me physically, mentally, spiritually. I had gained some weight.
Right.
Being in school and just
Sure. Mm-hmm.
trying
a little
to do
sedentary.
yes.
Yeah.
And I had high blood pressure. I
Mm.
had to go on a CPAP machine.
Wow.
I was having issues with my asthma, and ever since I've been doing that, no more blood pressure medication, no more CPAP, and it's actually helped me
Wow.
control my asthma.
Wow.
And it helped, and at the hospital as well, CPR, that's no joke, that's a workout.
Right, chest compressions.
Yes, and I mean, I could go forever and just be like, I'm good, guys.
Right.
So
That
definitely
is-
helped.
That is awesome. So there's almost a direct connection to your life-saving skills just because you exercise, right?
Yes.
That's really powerful. So, let's allude into just a little bit into your boys, just because I think that's super important, and they're an important part of our lives and your life. And so, your boys have trained here for several years, are under black belts. Just any general feelings about that you would want to share if you had the opportunity, about their experience or kind of what the journey has been like. 'Cause we know there's been on days, off days.
Oh
You
yes.
have to fight them to get them here sometimes, and
Yes.
then then there's days they're pulling on you, hey, get me in the door, let's go. And
Yes. We originally started here because of Alex. A lot of people don't know, except for those that are close to us, that he's on the spectrum.
right.
And I thought it would be a good idea to get him set up here for occupational therapy,
Right.
as well to help him learn to socialize and just to be confident in himself.
Right.
And he went from this fragile, scared little boy who couldn't stand for anyone to touch him without crying to this awesome young man that I see before me who just wants to help all the little dragons, which are the 3 and 4-year-olds.
Right.
And I mean, I just watched him break through every barrier that I honestly didn't know if he would be able to. And
Right.
he just continues to amaze me and pushes himself every day, even when he struggles.
Right.
And I mean, he has his
There's
bad
struggles,
days.
right.
He has his bad days, but when he earned his black belt in December, I mean, my heart was just so full of joy.
Right.
Just so full of joy.
It's a powerful time, right?
It is.
Yeah. Well, they just recently joined the leadership team, which you know that well, but
Yes.
you guys don't. And man, they've done well. They're stepping in there and walking up to all the kids and shaking hands and making eye contact and talking to people. And it's so funny because one of my first memories of Alex is going by and being like, hey, Alex, and touched him, and him going, ow. And now he's in our Masters Club, our black belt classes, exchanging kicks on pads and hitting back and forth, and has how do you say, I guess, physically and mentally matured so much.
Yes.
And it's been really powerful to watch that journey happen. So, and we're honored to get to have them in our life and get to be a part of that process. So, and it's also cool, I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but she said even his mom, there were concerns in her mind, your mind, and doubt as to what he would be able to accomplish. And I think it's good that we all see that getting our kids into a stable, disciplined, structured program of some sort, no matter what their struggles are, sometimes those people in that program will see things in your kids that maybe you don't see and can help you to draw that out of them. And so I think that's really been powerful. So I appreciate you sharing that piece too. So we've got another professional just like you, I don't know, in their late 20s, something like that, right? And, they've gone back to school, they're balancing the life and home, maybe they've put on some weight or whatever those issues are, and you meet them somewhere and they go, yeah, man, I heard that martial arts or kickboxing stuff is good for me. What words of encouragement would you have for them to get them across the hump? Because I get these objections a lot. I'm out of shape, I'm inflexible, I'm uncoordinated, and just so much self-doubt that people carry around with them every day. What would you say to another man or another lady that you meet somewhere that you sense that kind of self-doubt, but yet they see it and want to do it, but they're not sure what to do? What would you say?
Well, for starters, I've had every single one of those doubts about myself.
Right.
My favorite one was, I have to lose weight first before I can come do a class, which was, I don't know where I even got that from. But I think I would tell them, do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Do something that is just for you.
Right.
Step out of your comfort zone. I mean, what do we tell our kids every day? Yes, it's scary, but try it.
Yes.
You don't have to be the best.
Amen. Step out there.
But step out there and try it.
Right.
You might surprise yourself. There was things that I didn't think I would be able to do that I can do now. I'm not the best one out there, but I take pride in what I can do.
Guys, this woman can jump. She can hit hard. She kicks hard. It's amazing what she does in class. I teach her classes every now and then, and always have a fun time doing that. Just seeing not only your progress, but just how strong you are. You do a fantastic job. So that's really powerful. Step out of your comfort zone. I love this one. Practice what you preach. And you said that whenever you said, what do we tell our kids? We're all guilty. Hey, get up. Dust it off. Let's go do it again. And then we fall down and go, somebody give me a hug. Right? So it's so important that we take our own advice. And one of the biggest lessons I pulled out of the whole conversation too, and I think this is also huge, modeling behavior, man. I chose to go back to school to be an example for my kids. And it's really funny because Glenn Ann and I got married kind of early. I was 19, she was 21, and we began our life, and we had this agreement. One would stay in school, one would work. And so I worked first. She went to school, and she's actually a registered nurse and hasn't practiced nursing, although she keeps up her license and her continuing education. But she hasn't practiced nursing for probably over 20 years now. This process of one work and one go to school, well, we got the opportunity to take over a martial arts school. It was a dream, it was passion, it was like, oh, and it began to grow. We're working hard, we're excited, we're hungry young people. But I made a conscious choice, she and I made it together, and it was, I'm gonna continue to take some classes and trickle along. And here's the thing, and I don't mean this in any bad way, but my degree collects dust on the wall downstairs, but I didn't do it because of what it would do for me. I really did it because I wanted to model a behavior for my kids, that I wanted them to see that it was achievable, that I wanted to set maybe a standard in my home, my life. And that's exactly what you've done and what you were saying. So that was kind of my version. So 17 years of kind of trickling school along, I finally got to graduate, which was pretty cool. All right, so what's the best piece of advice you feel like you've ever gotten? Just anything, life, just somebody shared with you somewhere.
It was something Lexi actually told me.
Nice.
A while back. It was along my fitness journey while I was growing, not just, as a person, but, making improvements on myself in general. And I was proud of how far I've come, how much weight I had lost. I was feeling great. And somebody made a negative comment about my appearance. And it stung, and I was having a really hard time dealing with that.
Right.
And I was actually at Candace's getting my hair done, telling her about it when Lexi walked in on the conversation and heard it. And this has stuck with me to this day, and it's something that I've passed on to other people.
Right.
She told me, she's like, only you know your struggle, what it took for you to get where you have gotten.
Right.
She was like, you have worked hard. She was like, be proud of yourself.
Right.
Don't let anyone rob you or steal you of that joy.
Right.
Of that accomplishment that you have made.
Right.
And then she went on to tell me, she's like, a lot of the times when people speak negatively on other people, it's because they see something within themselves that they don't like.
Absolutely.
And that's what she told me. She's like, when that happened, she was like, show them grace, show them compassion. And that stuck with me.
Nice.
And so when people are ugly to me, I tend to think, okay, show them grace.
Nice.
And I've been teaching that to my children too, and sometimes it's hard, but
extremely hard, especially when your kids are involved and someone says you're doing something around your kids, and it's like, okay, help me with the grace piece, help me with the
yes, because I don't just turn into Mama Bear, I go full grizzly bear mode, especially when it comes to my children. So
for sure.
And I was just really impressed when she told me that, and it's something that has stuck with me since then, that I've tried to work better at being.
Awesome. So. Good for you. So a couple little nuggets I want to pull out of that for those of you that don't know. Lexi is a 19-year-old. Now, the reason I bring that up is because you're past 19.
Yes.
But some of your best lessons in life come from the young people around us.
Oh, yes.
Watching them, listening to them. The honesty of a 5-year-old that walks up and says, man, you look silly today, sir. And you kind of go, oh, yeah, I do. For whatever reason, just that just that bare honesty that they share, man, you can learn so much from that. So I posted a meme a couple days ago, and the meme was shared by a friend. I reshared it because I thought it was powerful, and it was a set of steps going down out of like a, I guess they call it like a stoop. It's like a two doors, like a duplex type situation. So steps going down, snow on the steps. And on this side, someone had just swept their side and left the snow pile on the other side. And the meme said, don't let yourself become that person on the left. So from the perspective of the picture, the person that swept just their side and not the other. I thought it was really interesting. I haven't responded, but I've gotten a whole bunch of comments like, well, what if the guy on the other side's a real jerk? You know, maybe he's a butthole and he deserves it. I would throw cold water on his steps and put a GoPro out so I could film him falling down the stairs. So you said something that was really awesome. Many times when people are struggling and they share, they say ugly things, I mean, it's their own personal struggles. It's not the battle. It's not a battle with you. It's the battle they carry inside, right? And you said something really powerful. Showing grace. Sweeping their steps, no matter how rude they are every day, is showing grace, is doing the right thing no matter what. And if you can't see that, you need to step back and relook at life a little bit, right? Because what the behaviors that we model are the behaviors that the people around us will eventually pick up, and hopefully we can do some positive things that help people, right? All right. Well, I'll quit banging about that because it's been heavy on my mind. So, do you have any books that you would recommend for people?
Yes, it's actually one that I'm currently reading right now,
Cool.
and it's called Have You Ever Felt Like Giving Up Lately by David Wilkerson.
Nice.
And I definitely recommend that you read it if you haven't, especially if you're a mom or just anybody in general. We all struggle, we all carry burdens. I mean, we all have had times where we feel like giving up.
Right.
So I definitely recommend reading that book. It's a good one.
Absolutely. Can you say the title one more time?
Have You Ever Felt Like Giving Up Lately?
Have you ever felt like
by
giving
David
up?
Wilkerson.
Nice. I'm gonna have to look into that one because it is not on my list, but I'll put it on the list.
Yes.
So good stuff. All right, Ms. Madi, was there anything you want to share with the audience out there, the people that might be watching?
Just if you're not in any kind of physical activity, whether it's here or somewhere else, or even if it's going outside and walking for 5 minutes, do it. You will see a change in yourself. You're modeling great habits for your kids. If you want to work out, buddy, you can come up here and work out with me. So.
Nice. Very good. All right, guys. Well, there were some amazing nuggets in this video today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Madi, thank you so much for sharing.
Sir.
Thanks for sharing your kids with us, your life with us, and all the things you guys do to be a part of Team Chip. You guys go out there and have an amazing day.